Hey everybody, welcome to Ryan's Gate Chicago. Happy Easter to those of you who celebrated today. It is April 5th, 2026. I have some folks with me on TikTok, and sorry for the delay. This is all like literally breaking news, you guys. It's crazy with this asbestos stuff. So the theme today is asbestos cancer danger. We need to stop this demo now. Make sure that we need to see, do they have permits for this demolition? Do they have permits? Did Harvey pay for an asbestos report to be done on this building? Because once that stuff gets in the air, you don't want to be dying of cancer 2 years, 3 years later. I mean, it's very, very serious. And unfortunately, our leaders of our city don't seem to be taking this very seriously. So, hey guys, hey. So yeah. So to start, I wanted to, whoopsies. Wait, what did I want to show you guys? Let me actually pull up really quickly some photos that I took today, so you can see that the site is still unsecured, and we got all sorts of stuff could be blowing around. Here we go. Okay. So this is from today. So this is the beautiful historic building that they shouldn't have been demolishing in the first place. But they hired, like I said, this company that's under federal indictments for not doing proper disposal and for obstructing, what do you call that? Like when they were getting in the way of the investigation that the feds were doing. So yeah, this is the building. But I just wanted to show you because you can see even in the photo, like you see how everything's just super dusty, and the debris is just like hanging out there, just like sitting there. That's the company alliance. This here, they put the bricks on the pallets, and I'm told they sell for $1 a brick. So somebody's getting rich off of our beautiful historic bricks as well. The fence isn't even done correctly, and you'll notice there are no permits. Oh yeah, again, you can see just how dusty it is and all the debris and everything. There's nothing posted, no permits, nothing about the asbestos survey or anything. So I just wanted to kind of review that again. Oh, shoot. Damn it, I forgot. My YouTubers, I'm so sorry. I'm showing my TikTokers, and I realized I didn't even add it to the stage for you guys. I'm so sorry. Let me go back real fast. Okay. So this is the building, and then you can just see kind of how like dusty it is, and yeah. So remember, with these old buildings, you have asbestos, you have lead, you have silica. Any of those things, lead is especially dangerous for children and elderly people. Lead poisoning, asbestos for anybody. Once it gets into your lungs, it stays, and it can lead to lung cancer and mesothelioma and other horrible things from which you can die. There's no getting it out of your lungs. That's why we have laws to protect us that Harvey is obviously seems to not be following. So these are just more photos of the building. But look, no permits, nothing posted. It just says no trespassing, sidewalk closed, but that's it. This beautiful building. They're not only are our politicians corrupt, but they're also just cruel and being idiotic like that. This terracotta was just restored a few years ago. You know how expensive that is and rare, that terracotta front for a building. So, I mean, this is just egregious in every possible way, you guys. It's so beautiful. Anyway. And right down the street, here's the site of the demolition. You have a huge apartment building with all these people living here. Don't you think, besides all the people at the train station and the bus depot that pass through here, don't you think the people that live in this apartment building would want to know that demolition of an old building with a lot of toxic materials is going on, like right by them? Are they being protected? Well, we need to know. So I hope that helps, so you guys can all see that. And then I was gonna pull up the number. What was this article? Oh yeah. Okay, I think I showed you guys this the other day. This was the one that was actually involved in the same company. You saw the words Alliance, on those demolition machines. So Alliance is doing the work. Federal criminal charges were filed. This was just last December, following demolition of a former hospital in Waukegan that led to serious dangers of asbestos. These charges were filed against this company. Why is City Council using this company? Like literally, and they had OSHA violations. Okay. 24 count indictment filed by the U.S. Attorney's Office in U.S. District Court in Chicago. Carl Fioravanti served as president of Alliance Environmental Control in Lansing. Okay. So the complaint states asbestos work was not handled correctly, that he made false statements regarding the work being performed. In addition, they're saying that he lied to investigators in an attempt to cover up his actions. Is this what we want in Harvey? So anyway, this is not good, not good. And then it says, quote unquote, serious dangers of asbestos. So that ain't good, guys. We want to stop that. And I will look up that number for you as well. Do you guys want to see a little bit of the original wording of the oh shoot, I know I have it. I look up their Harvey Hotel stuff. 1 second here, because it's pretty crazy. So the actual indictment related to their work in Harvey is crazy. Let me go remove that. And for my TikTokers, you're kind of watching from my end. This is like behind the scenes. This is my show. This is, what do you call it? StreamYard is the app that I use. So, did you ever say where you were from, B? You're the tarot guy. Are you in Puerto Rico? I see you do tarot readings. I was just wondering where you're at. We have 2 gentlemen, my TikTokers. We have 2 guys from the UK with us this evening. So we are show them your love. So look at the Fioravanti indictment here. 2023, okay, United States versus Carl Fioravanti. Make sure you guys can see. Okay, good, you can see, yeah. So it starts off saying, HUD talks about the CDBG grants. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so they were working on a building in Harvey. Okay, April 2017. This organization acquired the Chicago Park Hotel on Halsted in Harvey, right by the expressway. Okay, they were going to demolish it. It was built in the late 60s. Many buildings during that era were constructed with the use of asbestos. Exposure to asbestos is harmful to humans and has been linked to the development of lung cancer, lung disease, and mesothelioma, a rare form of cancer. Because of the dangers associated with exposure to asbestos, demolition specialists employ special procedures to remove and safely dispose of asbestos from buildings they demolish. Now, Mr. Gay Disenfranchised, would you like to share with everybody? I know that they can't see you on YouTube, but about you had someone that actually had lung cancer, and that is not a fun experience. Am I correct?
Absolutely not. It was awful. The sudden death of my father, it wasn't, it's like my dad's dead, but it's the way he died from that cancer. It was awful. It was days, and I would wish that upon no one. So yeah, it's not nice.
And I would imagine it affects your breathing, right? I imagine, because it's in your lungs. So
I literally, my dad was at the end of his life in intensive care, and they took out his, the pipes from the mouth and everything. He literally had no breath. And he tried to go and say something, and he just died. And I saw the life taken out of someone. It's horrific. It was awful. So there you go, like lung cancer from this stuff is bad.
Yeah, no, thank you for sharing, and I'm glad. I wanted you guys to hear that because you know, my thing is, worst case scenario, if the dangers are not as extreme, maybe as we're worried about, wouldn't that be great? Like, I'm just concerned for the people. We should make sure and be safe. We'd rather be safe than sorry. This is not something to roll the dice on. We need to stop the demolition and make sure that things are being done properly. And part of that should be, this company should not be doing the demolition, because as we see in the you know, this is just one of the indictments. It says that okay, so they did an asbestos survey of it. Okay, which this company did, the same one that's doing this current demolition. They said there was asbestos there, right? Not surprising. Most older buildings have a lot of asbestos. Okay, so then some bids were submitted, but basically AEC participated. The company Alliance participated in the demolition of the Harvey Hotel site. They caused debris removed from the Harvey Hotel to be delivered to a landfill operated by Company B. In connection with the delivery of debris to Company B's landfill, Company B required AEC to identify whether the debris were general waste or, on the other hand, whether the debris contained asbestos. In the event the debris contained asbestos, that's Alliance, I'll just call them Alliance, AEC, was required to complete and submit to Company B a signed document known as an asbestos waste manifest. You see all the regulations, like, it's serious, because that's what we need to protect people's health. Once it gets in the air and gets in your lungs, you cannot remove it. You cannot wash it out. You cannot vacuum it out. You cannot operate it out. It doesn't work that way. It's so microscopic and it tears up your lungs. So this would have required Alliance to state the quantity of asbestos that was delivered to Company B as to each load of debris. After Company B processed and countersigned the asbestos waste manifest, it supplied Alliance with a copy of the fully executed asbestos waste manifest, the original asbestos waste manifest. So then it talks about how they began an investigation. Whether Alliance had provided a truthful asbestos survey to the CCLBA that described the amount of asbestos accurately that needed to be removed, how much was actually removed, whether Company A and Alliance had been overcompensated and had received these government funds they were not entitled to in connection with the demo, whether Alliance had accurately documented the amount of asbestos removed, including in the asbestos waste manifests. So let's see, they gave a subpoena to Mr. Fioravanti related to the work performed by Alliance, okay, for a project at the Harvey Hotel site. Fioravanti sent an email saying, here are the documents pertaining to the asbestos testing and abatement work at this property. He did not produce originals or legible, true, and complete copies of originals. The feds are saying that Fioravanti concealed and did not produce the original asbestos waste manifest. Instead, the 5 asbestos waste manifests Fioravanti produced were altered to reflect that a different quantity of asbestos-containing material had been removed from the Harvey Hotel site and delivered to Company B. Again, I'm not saying this, okay? This is not what I'm saying. This is what the feds are saying. This is what they're alleging. Is this the kind of company that we should just trust is going to keep us healthy in Harvey? I don't think so. On or about October 25th, 2018. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and so he was charged with intent to impede, obstruct, and influence the investigation and proper administration of a matter within the jurisdiction of a department or agency of the United States, namely HUD, the OIG, EPA. Okay, so they listed a few, like Department of Justice, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Ooh, so it's a lot. In relation to and contemplation of such a matter, did knowingly alter, conceal, cover up, and make a false entry in a record and document, namely by concealing and covering up the original asbestos waste manifests, sending an email falsely implying compliance with a subpoena, and producing altered asbestos waste manifests with the email. Okay, so again, it's not rumor, it's not conjecture. Those are the federal charges, okay? So again, it's not something that I made up. It's not just something I'm blabbing about. Like those are the real legit charges. So then let's see, I wanted to show you that to you guys. And let me look up one other thing. What is let's see. Oh wow. Whew. Yeah, it's not good. I wanted to see if we could find a video. Let's see if we can find a video about involving like let's see what do you go through being exposed to asbestos. What is this? Institution of Occupational and Safety. Okay. Let's see what this looks like. Hey, Michael. What's up? What's up, buddy? Wait, how do I add that? Oh, okay. Never mind. I have to remove that. Stop screen. Add. So let's see what this is. I now we're watching this together for the first time since I was enjoying my Easter today. Okay, so I wasn't like researching this all day, but this should tell us a little bit about what life is like with asbestos.
Late 2016, I had some random pains, sickness pains, shooting pains that no one could explain. I had a laparoscopy done at Fremley Park Hospital where they found the malrotation of the bowel, which is a separate issue. And whilst they were looking at that, they found some nodules on my bowel, pelvis, and around that area down the bottom. Took it for biopsy, and it was with them and went to a couple of professors up and down the UK and the Royal Marsden until April. And then April came, and they were still a bit unsure, but they thought it was some kind of mesothelioma. Didn't know really what type, how bad it was, if it was okay, but they thought it was under control at the time. Hence, it wasn't dealt with urgently. And then I had an appointment with Mr. Cecil at Basingstoke Hospital in September, and he confirmed the epithelial mesothelioma. Went on to have a staging laparoscopy done in the October, and then my big operation in November. Yeah, my symptoms were sickness, a lot of stomach pains, but they weren't aches. It was like a shooting pain that would just come for about 30 seconds and then go again, and then it will come again, then go again. And it was 2 days after New Year's on 2017, the pain just didn't go away, and it was literally unbearable. So I went straight to hospital. It was explained to me quite soon after, in the April time at Fremley Park Hospital, that it was a material that is normally inhaled and it normally settles in the lungs, but occasionally it can go into you can digest the fibers into your stomach. And this is the asbestos fibers, which again, I didn't know anything about either. And it can settle in any sort of area in your body, your organs, and grow from there, really. And that was it. They said my case probably would have taken around 20 years to come out, which would have made me 2 or 3 at the time. So naturally, we looked at schools, play schools, old houses. We had some buildings investigated, which we thought maybe we could find it or find the cause. And we couldn't find anything, so we don't know to this day where it came from. There is no safe level of exposure, obviously, because I could have been around it anywhere. It could have been in a park, in a shed. I could have been playing at a friend's house. Something is walking past a skip in someone's driveway in a pushchair. It could have gone under my nails. I could have chewed my nails. So it doesn't necessarily have to be in a workplace or in a house where you know that it's there, it can be any sort of level. It could be a building covered with it, or it could just be.
Hey, Chihuahua. We're watching a video, but she's telling us what it's like to be I think she was a survivor, but of asbestos.
Airborne fibers. If you're in contact with those fibers,
I was watching videos. How many videos about Christina's husband and his big tits?
Oh my God, no, you are silly. Now for a different topic, like dying or getting seriously sick from asbestos
diseases at any time. It could be 20 years on, 30 years on, but there's going to obviously be a time gap when you wait for it to come out.
I remember they said there's a time.
It doesn't matter if you're aware that it's there or not. You always have to be conscious about your surroundings in this day and age.
Oh.
Dad and mum have their own security and alarm business, and obviously in that industry they are in contact with a lot of electricians, plumbers, builders, anyone they can get their hands on really, and obviously in all those industries they're all at risk of being exposed to asbestos, whether it's an electrician, bathroom fitter, tiler, things like that. They're all at risk really. I agree with the fact that there's this big gap. You think because it's been banned and it's now gone away, and it's not. And I think because there's going to be so many more cases like myself coming up now, and I don't know if it's already started, but I think people need to realise that just because it's banned, it hasn't gone away. And this is going to carry on now for generations and generations and generations for years to come, because it's still in the country. So people need to be aware.
Right.
People need to know, especially in work.
To remember, asbestos is all over older buildings, because before it was banned, it was a cheap and easy material to use as an insulator and a fire retardant, to protect from fire. So it's the older buildings. It can be all over in the walls, flooring, insulation.
Places, if there's asbestos in buildings and things, people need to know what they're around. And I think the more people talk about it, the more people have discussions, the more you travel and the more you air your side of the things and air your opinions and your stories and things, people will listen. If you bang on about something so much, someone will listen somewhere eventually. And I think even if it's just one person that you can educate and get them to listen to you, that's one person that's aware.
Oh, okay, that was it. Oh, damn.
To me, because it keeps awareness out there about asbestos and the fact that it is not banned in the USA and that it's still being used to this day, and just the importance of raising funds and finding a cure for this awful disease. My name is Joyce Larson Francis, and my connection to mesothelioma is I lost my first husband, John, to mesothelioma in November of 2010. So, attending the race every year helps me remember my husband, John, who's been gone 13 years. Life has changed a lot in 13 years. There's not a day that I don't think about him, but it's just nice to this is my day to honor him and honor how hard he fought to stay here with us and everything he did to make sure that we would be taken care of when he was gone. I mean, it's very nice to be here around other people who know and understand what our family went through. There's so many different families that are impacted by it when it's caused by something and you know that it could have been prevented. And that's the worst part of all of it is none of these people have to be battling this or dying from this because it could have been avoided. I think the manufacturers who use and continue to use asbestos in their materials, I don't know how they sleep with themselves at night, but it's greed. It all boils down to money. They want to make money. So
yeah, that's crazy. Okay, I gotta Google that. I thought it was illegal to use it.
Manufacture their products as cheapest as they can, regardless of any health consequences to the public. It's just unexcusable at this point. My late husband, John, was exposed to asbestos in several different ways. The first situation was when he was a child. His dad worked for National Lead, so his dad would come home with it on his clothes. Would go into the washing machine, which was in the general area where my husband and his sister would play and hang out with friends. So that was his initial exposure. Later in life, he was exposed because he had a love for working on old cars and restoring them. So obviously the brakes and all of that kind of thing. He loved home remodeling. So we had a very old house in St. Louis City, and we tore out the bathroom. At the time, we didn't know, but that again was more exposure to asbestos. And then he also worked for a company where they designed high-rise buildings. So they were always going to old buildings and doing inspections and that type of thing. So he was exposed to ceiling tiles and other various building materials that had asbestos in them. We weren't aware that his cancer was related to asbestos until about 6 months after he was initially diagnosed. I first became aware of Simmons and what they do from a friend of mine, because she said, you have to talk to Simmons, that this is a big deal. You shouldn't just live with this without taking any further action. Simmons was amazing through the whole process. My daughter was very young then. She was 12 when her dad died. It was a very emotional and stressful time, but they were always very supportive. Allie at the firm was always, and still this day, is amazing. Everybody was above and beyond, went out of their way to help us make sure that we were doing okay, asked if we needed anything. I have been attending Miles for Meso since the first year in 2009. Miles for Meso is important because it raises awareness that asbestos is still being used to this day, and that there are numerous people out there that are fighting this illness caused by asbestos exposure.
Now, I did look something up here just very quickly, or I Googled it. Now it says in 2024, the EPA prohibited the importation, processing, and distribution of crystalline asbestos, effectively stopping the last remaining legal commercial use. So, okay, so maybe, I don't know. Maybe that was after. Oh, okay, no, this is the same year that video was. Oh, it was the same month that this video came out. Okay. So anyway, but unfortunately, that doesn't help us with the asbestos that's still all over the place. So as you can see, there are other stories here. Secondhand exposure to asbestos led to 6 surgeries. Dealing with asbestosis. Oh. You know, but the point is that I just want, you know, we need to realize that this is still an issue.
Now you can meet with a TurboTax expert in your community. They can do your taxes for you.
Not just, you know, oh yeah, the dust is going to give you allergies. Like, no, you could die.
Came up through the industry as I did as an electrical apprentice before, you know, having your own business. The chances are you would have come in contact with asbestos sometime during your career, to some degree. Well, when I started life as an apprentice electrician, at that moment of time, the company was doing a lot of work in schools, and we were working in boiler houses and cable ducts where there were laggers, lagging the pipes and the boilers with asbestos. And I used to be quite fascinated standing there watching them, not realizing at the time, of course, floating around in the air were all these asbestos fibers, having no awareness at all that later on in life they would catch me up and could give you a disease. I mean, the first time it really came home to me was when I was away on holiday in Cyprus, and I was finding that just to climb the stairs to go to the restaurant or to walk more than 100 yards, 150 yards, I was gasping for air. And whereas normally I'm quite active on holiday, walking the promenade and the like, there was an awful lot of sitting around and lying on the bed because I couldn't manage it. So as soon as we got back from holiday, I went straight to my GP on a Monday. He arranged for me to have an X-ray, which luckily at our local hospital they did that day. And then I heard on the Wednesday, I called back from my GP to say that I was ticking lots of boxes that I should be seen as a matter of urgency within 10 days. But being a member of the UCA and the JRB, I've got BUPA cover. I said, leave it to me and I'll arrange to see if I can get anything quicker. And I arranged to get in to see a consultant on Friday evening. And having seen him and him giving me an X-ray, he wanted me in straight away, and he made special arrangements for me to be admitted to the hospital on Sunday. So from seeing my GP on the Monday, on the Sunday, I was in hospital, and they were beginning to take samples of the fluid that was around my lung. And then we found 2 weeks later, I was called up to see my thoracic surgeon, who very gently informed me that she thought I had years to live rather than decades, because I got mesothelioma, asbestosis, which was our worst. It was always there in the background, but like everything, you never think it's going to be, never going to be you. And it was the worst news one could have heard. But the day after I'd been given the news that I'd got this disease, I went to see my local GP because he's had experience of people with this disease. And I asked him what his experience of it was. And he said out of the something 40 odd patients he'd had, they'd survived anything between 4 months and 4 years from diagnosis.
Oh.
So I did ask him, what's the difference between those who survived the 4 months
and those who
survived the 4 years?
Okay,
he
so
said, generally your state of health.
Did you hear that?
You know,
once that asbestos gets in your lungs, so the doctor told him 4 months to 4 years. I guess once it gets triggered or something. That's crazy.
I was a smoker, but I'd stopped smoking 40 years ago. I do drink, but I think in moderation, and have quite a healthy lifestyle. And he looked at me and he said, "Well, he said, you look like a butcher's dog." He said, "I think you'll do better than most." But a big part of it was to have a healthy, going into the treatment with a healthy lifestyle gave you more chance of a longer survival. The first thing you're going to get used to is that it isn't curable. they do tell you enough times, you know, I'm sorry, but we can't cure this. I'm receiving treatment. I've had surgery, radiotherapy, now receiving chemotherapy. Everything they're doing, in a sense, is palliative. So my surgeon did turn around to me and say, you've got to do some forward planning. You know, you've got to plan for the end of your life. And I'm not sure whether that's a good thing or not. But it's a whole thing, just making out a will that covers your ordinary house and chattels. I want to make sure my wife is going to be able to remain in the house where we live at present, because we love it. It's our home. And I've got a business which I've got to sort out succession planning for. I was beginning to make plans, but I thought I had years in which to get it all sorted. And suddenly the timescale has been shortened. And even if it's down to things like inheritance tax, all things like that, suddenly become more important to you as you get closer to this point. Well, I've been very fortunate that my daughter came to work for me 7 or 8 years ago. So the expectation is that she will come in and take the business over. I have another son who works in the business, and I think he will play a part in it. And we hope the business will, and the name will carry on for another generation. The industry does an awful lot to train its apprentices and bring them the awareness of asbestosis and the dangers. And I think as soon as you get signs of coughing or breathlessness, you should go to your GP and tell him that you had contact with asbestos in the past, in the hope that they may diagnose it earlier rather than later. I think some people may take it a bit lightly, and they say perhaps all these procedures are not, all these precautions are not really necessary. I must admit, I was one of those that perhaps might have thought, well, you know, can I just drill a hole through an asbestos tile? You know, do I need to worry about it? But when something like this happens, you are acutely aware that yes, with asbestos, and there's still an awful lot of it still around, it is one of these substances that has this effect of this disease.
Right. So it's not something to play with, people. It ain't something to play with. Wow. Asbestos poisoning. Oh, let's see this.
Today's topic is asbestos poisoning. Asbestos is a naturally occurring mineral that was used in many building materials and homes for many years. It's been banned for use in new construction, but it can still be found in older buildings and homes. If a material or construction containing asbestos is damaged or broken down, fibers can become airborne and be inhaled by humans. These fibers can enter the lungs and cause serious health problems, including lung cancer and mesothelioma. The health risks associated with asbestos poisoning can vary depending on how much exposure you have had and what type of disease or condition you developed from those exposures. What causes asbestos poisoning? Asbestos fibers are small enough that they can be inhaled deeply into your lungs without being noticed by your body. Once inside your body, asbestos fibers will begin to cause inflammation within those cells lining your lungs, alveoli, or lining other organs like your heart or kidneys' mucous membranes. Over time, this inflammation causes scarring on these tissues, which stops them from working properly, creating breathing problems like emphysema, chronic cough, asthma attacks, or chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD emphysema. Symptoms of asbestos poisoning. The exposure to asbestos doesn't cause immediate symptoms, but when it enters the lungs, it can take years before the lungs are scarred and the symptoms appeared.
Notice how they used the photo of a house being demolished. Okay, so that's a big source of asbestos is demolitions, because you're disturbing it. Remember, like a lot of this stuff, like lead, asbestos, what do we say, silica. When it's not disturbed, it's not in the air, it's not going to hurt you. But once it gets disturbed, which demolition is a very disturbing process, it can be airborne and it can be blown all over.
Asbestos exposure can cause a number of symptoms, including shortness and difficulty in breathing, persistent dry cough, hearing crackling sounds from the lungs when inhaling air during breathing, clubbed fingers, which means fingers that are way more round and wide than usual, chest pain, and sometimes the symptoms may be accompanied by coughing up blood. Treatment of asbestos poisoning. Currently, there is no treatment or cure that can reverse the damage of asbestos to the affected lungs.
Okay, I'm going to read that again. Currently, there is no treatment or cure that can reverse the damage of asbestos to the affected lungs. That's why we need to stop this demolition, peeps. I'm going to give you the number. We all got a call first thing in the morning.
But a person who has symptoms and thinks that they may have been exposed to asbestos should talk to a doctor immediately. In the early cases, the doctor may be able to prescribe some pulmonary exercises and oxygen therapy to help manage and slow the progression of the disease. But still, patients with asbestos poisoning have a high risk of developing complications like lung cancer, mesothelioma, which is also a cancer that affects the tissue around the lungs, heart, or testicles. And finally, pleural disease, which is the thickening of the lungs lining. Patients who smoke have a high risk of developing these complications. So, it is important for the patient to stop smoking if he has been diagnosed with asbestos poisoning.
Right.
Thank you for watching our video. Please do not forget.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Dr. Alley, the question that we have for us is, not only what is mesothelioma from a structural point of view, but why do patients develop mesothelioma and who's at risk for it? And so the vast majority of cases of mesothelioma are associated with exposure to asbestos. Asbestos is a mineral fiber that is used in construction materials, brake pads, shingles, coatings for as a fire retardant. And the properties of this fiber, unfortunately, allow it, when it's aerosolized or in the air, to be drawn into the lungs and out towards the edges of the lungs to irritate the lining. And the exact mechanism of how this all works is not clearly known, but it does create an inflammatory response, and over time, over decades, can induce a cancer to form in the lining of the lung, the pleura. Having exposure to asbestos is the #1 risk factor for development of mesothelioma.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, this is interesting. What does it look like? Oh, okay, yeah, I've seen that. This is like asbestos insulation around pipes. Ah, the roof is asbestos. Oh man. It's lagging? I wonder if it's a British term. Say, I just know it as pipe insulation. Okay. Stop it. Oh, the ceiling tiles. Okay, that's the exterior of that. Ceiling tiles, yeah. Inside door. There. Walls. Ah. Ceiling. Oh, what? Okay, wow. So you get the point, right? Like, it can be in a lot of places. Or more power. Oh yes, these tiles. Have you guys seen these? This is like they have these a lot in old school buildings, you know. And again, if they're totally sealed and they don't get disturbed, they're not it's not a threat, right? Because it has to be airborne in order to get in your lungs. So, you know, it doesn't mean that like you have to always take all the asbestos out of your building if you have some, but the point is it can't be disturbed. When you're demolishing, you're disturbing. That's the whole point. Everything gets destroyed. So that's why it's potentially very dangerous what they're doing. Yeah. Oh, wow. So yeah, the point is that was from the UK, but still we still see a lot of that here. It be all over. Okay. Now. So yeah, you don't want to die or get seriously ill from, you know, a lung sickness due to asbestos. That's the point. We're not even talking about the lead and the silica. We're just talking about asbestos right now. But I wanted to say, let's see, which number do we report an illegal? Oh. OSHA. And again, you can tell it's serious because you have different numbers that come up. Well, 911, could do okay. National response at OSHA. That's if workers are exposed. The state, well, okay. Where do we report illegal demolition? And remember, dry demolition we saw because they weren't wetting it down properly either. Where do we report illegal dry demolition of asbestos in Cook County, Illinois? Let's see what they tell us. Sammy probably fell asleep. Oh, you're still with me? Oh, okay, Sammy. Everybody got quiet. I was like, oh, people probably bored. But this is just my nightly news show. It's not, I'm not going to be doing it forever, but okay. So here it is, you guys. So I'm going to actually put this in a Facebook post as well. Okay. So, well, we're not in the city of Chicago, so that doesn't really help. Yeah, I think the best. I think the best place to report it would be this one, Cook County Department of Environment and Sustainability. So I'm going to pull that up right now. A lot of that looks like in my attic, but the house is 115 years old. Exactly. So be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Again, a lot of times if you don't disturb it, it's okay. You know, so it doesn't mean, I don't want people to be freaked out about asbestos in general, like because it's in so many buildings. But the point is this is a demolition. For city leaders to allow this demolition of this huge old building with all this asbestos, and we didn't even get notices. There are no permits posted. We weren't even told about like that. That's crazy. And this company that was hired has federal indictments against them because they don't dispose of asbestos properly. Like, obviously that is very, very concerning for our health. Okay. Let me bring up Facebook. We're going to do a post right now together, guys. We're going to put together right now as I have this up. So what should we say? I'll say, could you put together a short Facebook post telling people what to say when they call to report the illegal demo activity. Let's see if AI will help us here. Save my brain since it is a holiday. We're going to say, make it specific to 15404 Broadway. And the company being Alliance. Let's see if Google will, okay, here we go. I like that. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Googs. You can put in some hashtags. Okay, that looks pretty good, actually. Let's try. Let me see if we can maybe start with that. Cool. Sammy, it sounds like you're very comfy in bed. Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't want this to be too long, though. Urgent. Report illegal dust and demo at 1. Wait, let me check to see for our health and the workers as well. Exactly. Yes, for everybody. It's just so important. Report illegal dust and demo at 15404 Broadway in Harvey. Neighbors, if you are seeing dust clouds or dry demolition at 15404 Broadway, we need to report now. Okay, we know that, but how to report? I am calling to report a major environmental violation at 154. Contractor Alliance is performing a dry demolition without proper water suppression. There is visible dust blowing into the neighborhood, and I am concerned about illegal asbestos exposure. Okay. Okay. And then how could I add that in? Something about what could I add to mention that Alliance is under federal indictment? Let's see what Google says. I have an idea what I would say, but okay, I like that. But then, actually, I like this one better. I am reporting Alliance Environmental Control for dry demolition at 154 for Broadway. This company and its leadership are already under federal indictment for allegedly falsifying asbestos records at another Harvey site. Given this history, an immediate inspection is necessary to protect our community's health. Well, I like that. Actually, I like that one better. I like that. Oh, let's just copy all of it. Okay, y'alls. Yes, I like that. Oh my God. It's going to be like a novel. I have to shorten it though. We got to make it a little shorter. Okay. We'll say know the history. Yep. Okay. Might be a little too long. There's visible dust blowing into the neighborhood. Yeah, I like that. Stop this demolition now. I like that. Whoop. Man, it's always ends up being longer than I probably want it to be. All right, we got to trim this down a little bit, peeps. Living in Harvey, I would say. Not just by Broadway, with anyone living in Harvey. Harvey, Illinois, Public Health, Cook County, Broadway, Environmental Justice. Yeah, that's good. Good hashtags. If you have footage of dust clouds or workers without water hose, email it to. Let's keep Harvey's air safe for our kids and families. Absolutely. Okay, what do you think? You guys think that's okay? Maybe like a little bit, but you know the ones who should complain the most is whoever's living in the Harvey lot. Yes, it's like right across the street. Can you believe that? It's like, how dare they try to poison people that are right across the street, you guys? Oh, man. So we'll say, actually, this can be the title here. Oop. No, I guess I got, stop it. Cut. Probably should attach a few documents too. There we go. I like that. Urgent. Report legal dust and demo at 154 4 Broadway and Harvey. How to report. Call Cook County Department of Environment, 312-603-8200, option 5. Call Harvey and Building Department. Know the history. The president of Alliance Environmental Control. We don't need that. What to tell the dispatcher. I'm reporting Alliance Environmental Control for drive demolition at 154 4 Broadway. This company and its leadership are already under federal indictment for allegedly falsifying asbestos records at another Harvey site. There is visible dust blowing into the neighborhood, and I'm concerned about illegal asbestos exposure. This is an immediate health hazard to the residents. Stop this demolition now. Or, you know, you can shorten it if you want or whatever, but at least that tells people, kind of gives you an idea of what to say. Important safety note. Federal and state laws require that all friable asbestos, friable means like it's easily broken up, be kept wet to prevent it from becoming airborne. Dry demolition of these materials is a serious environmental violation. If you have footage of dust clouds or workers without water hoses, email it to environment@cookcountyil.gov. Let's keep Harvey's air safe for our kids and families. Please share this with anyone living in Harvey. All right. What do you think, guys? I think that looks good. Okay, cool. Do you think you should talk to the fire department about this also? I don't know. Well, they don't usually do build. I mean, I guess you could, but they don't typically do stuff like this, though. Like, I don't think they do these kinds of hazards. That is a valid question, but I don't think they do these kinds of hazards. What is that? Let me quickly take a glance at. I'll attach a few photos to this that I prepared. See, it should let me just do it right from here, right? Let's see, guys. Okay, yeah, I think that works. Okay, good. Yep, got that with Alliance. Now. Got that. Broadway tax bill, indeed. Oh, okay, that's right. I did. Wait, hold on. What is this a screenshot of? Oh, those are like, okay, that's right. I got info on the owners and stuff and the violations. Okay. I really should. Wait, what was, well, today was the 5th, right? I got more photos from today. I really should just upload these. 1 second. April 5th, 2026 photos. And then I gotta go to here. Oh, no, wait, never mind. I already had it open. Okay. Oh, there's me in my cute outfit. I forgot to share my Easter outfit. All right, then we're gonna download. Wow, did I really take that many photos? Jeez. Just the whiz. Okay, that's still downloading. Here we go. Oh, it's done already? Wait, that was fast. Oh, wow. All right, now it's moving him. Hi, Jacoby. How are you? We were just reporting on and trying to get people engaged on this issue of an illegal demolition that's possibly like toxic, like extremely toxic. So, Jacoby, there he is, Jacoby. Mm-hmm. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on? It's late night already.
Hey there. Well, I mean, I like super. It's like it's 11:14, so I'm doing my usual nightly, trying to organize the peeps, getting together my posts here for the people. Let me check in with my YouTubers. Sorry, you guys, it's taking like forever. They would have to use the hydrants that would have to be at the fire department. Well, not necessarily. They could also bring water trucks. You really should date it. You really should backdate it from when they started. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it started at least I would say probably Wednesday, April 1st. Hey, there you are. Hey, cutie pie. So yeah, it's been. Oh, you mean like to mention that in the post, maybe? Maybe. Hold on, let me see if these 1%. Why is it taking so long? Okay, we're gonna stop. We're gonna cancel that. Let's try this again. Maybe I did it wrong. Maybe you have to extract them first. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, denied. Oh, it's empty. Oh, did it work? Did it transfer all my photos? I don't see them. I don't see. I'm like, what happened? Oh, you guys. Why do computers make this so difficult, you guys? I want it to be easier. No? It's denied. Oh my god, you've got to be kidding me. Okay, whatever. That's all right. You know what? Let's try it again. We want to get all of today's photos, except not me dressed up cute for Easter. But yeah, Jacoby, what did you do today? Considering it was Easter there, or yesterday for you. What?
Today's back to normal, back to work. Everyone is back to work.
Except for you, it looks like you're chilling at home.
Yeah, my work starts at night. Work starts at day tonight.
Oh, okay.
In the country.
You're working nights. That's right.
Actually got home from the medical clinic.
Oh, okay.
I had an annual visit.
And how did that go?
Doing good. Results are in, and that's nice. All results are.
Girl, you're everything's normal. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad to hear that.
It's just compliance. It's just for like an annual compliance purposes.
Uh-huh.
Like you need to go through physical exam, company demand.
Oh, okay. They make you do that. How is insurance there in the Philippines? Like, is it better than the fiasco that we have to deal with?
It's still the state.
You guys don't have state healthcare at all?
So we do have our national healthcare program.
Okay.
So you have a how should I explain it? So those people who have work are main priority because you have to. So they always get like a percentage from your paycheck, and it will go to your healthcare. So you pay for your healthcare.
Okay.
So that is the national insurance. So they're all like affiliated, certified medical clinic, hospital that you can access based from your monthly healthcare. I don't know how to describe it, but they just take the payment from my salary.
That's your like your premium or whatever.
But if you want like a higher HMO, like it will give you like a free medical checkup, flu shots, hospitalization, laboratory, and all. Then you have to get a HMO from a private medical company, insurance company.
But at least you do have like basic insurance from the government then?
The basic insurance from the government is just also basic, so you don't get to pay the accommodation in the hospital, but you have to pay for the medication.
Okay.
The laboratory is for free, but when it comes to medication, you have to buy for your own.
Still sounds like it might be better than our system. Yeah, our system's like pretty bad.
One?
Our healthcare system, it's like pretty predatory. We have private healthcare. It's really bad.
I worked before at United Healthcare.
Oh Lord. Yeah, they're one of the bad ones. One of the evil companies. The evil companies.
So I was like a customer service representative. We always call providers, medical clinic, hospitals to explain the benefits of the patient.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when we realized.
Bless your heart, you to deal with that. Bless your heart, honey. All right, so I think I showed, especially today when it was like super dry, we put the bills list. We did one of the articles. Okay, you guys, I think that's a good place to leave it. So again, let's see. It has the headline. It says report. It tells the number to report to. It says a little bit of the history. It gives a little text of what you can say to the dispatcher. And then it has like, the one headline. It has a little bit from the indictment. It has the bills list, and it has one of the photos. Okay, I think that's good. All right, we're gonna post that, and I'll share it. Good night, Michael. Yeah, so that's it, guys. I will share this on social media, and then actually just give me a second, because once it posts here, I'll also bring that up for you to see. Let's see. Wait, how do I get the post to be bigger? There's usually a way to do that, I feel like. But, all right, well, anyway. So, this is it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Good night, Michael. So, if you're watching this on the replay, you can start calling as of tomorrow morning, probably 8:30, okay? Report illegal dust and demo. Again, it gives you the number. It tells you a little bit of the background that this company has been indicted by a federal grand jury. These are very serious charges and involve illegal removal and disposal of asbestos, which is potentially deadly. It's definitely toxic once it gets into your lungs. There's no way to remove it. So it gives you a little bit of what to say. And if you want to send some emails, some photos, okay, it gives you a little headline and just a little bit more background. So thank you all. Please do that if you could tomorrow. That would be great. And I will call as well, and hopefully we'll get some. Oh my gosh, and Sammy is snoring, and I don't know why it's not letting me mute him. I don't mind if he stays on, but I just don't want to hear the snoring. Oh my God. But yeah, I'm going to try to do the same tomorrow morning. So let's all do this together, please. So it's not just me calling, and get them to stop. And we need some answers. I mean, our safety and our health are more important than someone's profit from demolishing this property. All right, talk to you guys later. Au revoir.